Sure, but flat. I'm gonna be reacting to just a couple of things, just news for the week, just to catch you up and show you how South African blacks are under attack in their own country. If you want to talk about a genocide, the only genocide going on right now is the attack on South African blacks. And guys, we must do something about it because our own government is attacking us. Foreign nationals are attacking us. White people are attacking us. America is attacking us. Black South Africans are being blamed for crimes they've got nothing to do with. The crime rate is going up because of the number of immigrants in the country. Black South Africans are not responsible for these things. But when you mention it and talk about it, they say you're xenophobic. So now we got our hands tied while we're suffering at the same time, while we're being ill-treated, while we're being abused in our own country, and we're not allowed to speak out about it. So we're just going to be going through just the series of all the terrible things going on in the country right now where Black South Africans are being oppressed. Black South Africans are being oppressed, but they're not allowed to talk about it. They're not allowed to say anything about it because we have been blackmailed and manipulated into accepting that we are xenophobic. Therefore, people are allowed to do whatever they want to do in our country and we can't talk to defend ourselves. So let's see what our fellow African brothers and sisters are doing out of love to destroy our countries that we're not allowed to speak about.
Zimbabwe is a mess. There's no doubt about it. Zimbabwe is the opposite of Botswana.
Will it get any better?
No. Here is the thing. You see, ZANU-PF has criminalized Zimbabwean society. It has perverted it.
Why is that South Africa's problem? Because Mugabe told us that he wasn't willing to take up arms for South Africa during apartheid, and he's a neighboring country, didn't give a damn about us. He told us to sort out our own problems, which we did. But now we are the refuge for Zimbabweans when they're in trouble. This is nonsense. Zimbabweans must go back home, go sacrifice their lives and die for future generations of Zimbabweans to have a future, just like our forefathers did for us. There's no running away here. We must actually lock all borders in Africa and force people to face their demons. Face your governments. Running away is not going to solve anything. It's going to perpetuate the problem. It'll continue forever because you guys are too cowardly to stand up to your government. Fight. Fight your government.
Crime, corruption, chaos is now culture in Zimbabwe. And once something becomes...
Now imagine they've brought that culture here to South Africa. And all we're known for now is crime because we have every fucking body from everywhere in the country doing illegal things. Of course, crime is going to be out of control. We have zero regulation. Our regulation is Ubuntu, Pan-Africanism. Let's be kind to everyone. But they're not being kind to us. Please tell us, Zimbabweans, what must we do with you people? If you yourself are running away from your own people, where must we go? We don't have another home. You guys are running away from your own countrymen. Your own people are chasing you out the country. But now, where must we go? This is our only country in South Africa. Where must we go? We don't have anywhere to go. And you guys are making life unbearable for us in South Africa. And when we ask you nicely, please be considerate, guys. Go back home. Go sacrifice your lives for your country and future generations of Zimbabweans to stop this problem from perpetuating. You guys are too selfish. You live and act out of pure self-interest, but you want us to be Pan-Africanist and to care about you. This is wrong. It's a double standard. Why don't you guys care for future Zimbabweans that have to go live in Zimbabwe? Sacrifice your lives, guys. That's the only way. Our forefathers died. It's well documented. Our people were getting shot in the streets for this freedom or so-called freedom that we have today. You guys don't want to sacrifice anything. You want to come to South Africa and live soft lives while your people are being tortured and abused in Zimbabwe by your own government. You got to stand up to your government. Stop taking the easy way out. Same goes for Nigerians. Stop running away.
Becomes culture, it is very difficult to change it. So the idea that if you want a document, a passport, for example, from a Zimbabwean government office, you will get it without paying a bribe. If you told Zimbabweans that, they would laugh at you and say you have smoked something. Because that's
Now that is becoming or has become the order of the day in South Africa too. Everything now works with bribes. Nothing gets done without a bribe because we have so many foreigners that are in high ranking positions within government. It's absurd. It's such a massive security risk, and we've allowed this to go on right under our noses. And no one's allowed to say anything because if you speak as a South African, then you're labeled as xenophobe or Afrophobic. It's ridiculous.
that's not how it works. In Zimbabwe, everything you pay a bribe. I mean, I have relatives in Zim, by the way. My nephews, my nieces are married to Zimbabweans and got family. I've been to Zim. I have a story of a family, an elderly family member who broke a leg and went to a public hospital somewhere in Bulawayo. The family had to bribe a doctor in order for this family member to be operated on. The doctors used to pass her for months.
Now, when we had that pregnant lady and we said no to giving her medical attention, we were called xenophobic. But in Zimbabwe, their own people will not treat them without a bribe. I'm talking about Zimbabwean to another Zimbabwean. They won't treat each other without a bribe. But when South Africans say we don't want to treat pregnant women because our hospitals are too filled with foreigners, we're called xenophobic. But in Zimbabwe, they are worse to each other. Make it make sense. They treat each other worse. Nobody bats an eyelid. Nobody says it's xenophobic. Nobody says it's tribalism. Listen to this. A person with a broken leg couldn't get medical attention. A Zimbabwean couldn't get medical attention in a Zimbabwean hospital from a Zimbabwean doctor. They treat each other worse, but yet we are expected as South Africans to carry the burden. We are expected to take care of these people when they won't even take care of one another as countrymen. This is ridiculous, man. It's a double standard.
A broken leg. The doctors just didn't operate on it until a bribe was paid in hospital. Man, can you imagine that? That's Zimbabwe for you. To change that, my friend, 3 decades of progressive authoritarianism. I don't know if you are going to get that.
No, you don't even need that. You just need one brave generation to go back home and challenge the government. That's it. We watched it happen with our generation. From 76, things started to change drastically in South Africa because everybody hit the streets to fight and protest after our children were massacred.
The second thing about why you can't change that Zimbabwe thing is the involvement and the enmeshment of the military in politics. You see, ZANU-PF and the military are the same thing. That's why Mnangagwa could never have been president of Zimbabwe without a deal with the military. Right? So the head of the military, she went, had to engineer a coup to remove Mugabe. And they had a deal that you come in, I'm going to be your deputy. That's how it works. So when you have a military that is at the center of a country's politics, let me tell you, you can't change anything. Because they will simply blow up your head. And what are you going to do? If you make noise in them, they simply blow up your head. That's it.
Think about that, right? In South Africa, we don't even go this far. In fact, they come to our country and blow up our heads. And that's okay. That's fine, right? Nobody complains. Nobody causes xenophobia. But in their own country, they're blowing up other Zimbabweans' heads. Nobody cries that this is xenophobic. But South Africans, we're not allowed to do anything to defend ourselves against people that are blowing up our heads.
That's it. That's the end of it. So Zimbabwe is a hopeless case. That's why the cream of Zimbabwe, the intellectual cream of Zimbabwe, is out of the countries. In South Africa, it's in the UK, some of them are in the US. And let me tell you, they will never go back.
Mr. Hopewell Shinono, my brother.
He's the only one who is making noise from there. He's the only one, and I follow him. He's the only one who's making noise from there.
I follow him too.
Yeah, it's and the stuff that he writes about, it's just out of this world.
Yeah. I know that I'm surprised that you only got the request yesterday because I saw infographics sometime last.
Before we progress with this video, I mean, it's shocking. We have so many Zimbabweans, Malawians, and people from all over that have invaded South Africa, and we can't do anything about it. Now we just have to accept these people. And essentially, our cultures as South Africans are dead. Our cultures are dead, guys, because we've integrated to the point where we don't recognize ourselves anymore. We don't recognize ourselves anymore. And that's a pity. That's a darn shame. Look at these old expired products. Komamelo, go to one. Spaza shop, warehouse. Oh, hi, guys. We can't complain, right? We're xenophobic if we do.
That's concerning.
African citizen
Foreigners don't
working
love
in
us.
Zimbabwe got sick there. When he went to medical center to request medical attention, they refused to assist him.
Please, I will be obliged if you don't skip a part of this video. Now, about the pregnant Zimbabwean lady that came to South Africa to give birth, and she was asked to go back to her country. Now, from what I discovered from this comment, I guess South Africans, they were right. Yes, they were right when they said that 90 to 95% of Zimbabweans come into their country for treatment, including those that are sick and also the pregnant women. In fact, that 100% of pregnant Zimbabwean women come to their country to give birth. You see, at first,
I mean, guys, our government is not even meeting our needs. And when foreigners come to our country and overburden our system, a system that's not even catering to the needs of its citizens, that is selfishness from Zimbabweans. It's self-interest. Why are they placing their problems above the problems of Black South Africans? Why not face their government? These guys are running away, coming to us. We are overburdened already. But we're not allowed to say anything because when we speak, it's xenophobic. But we must just suffer in silence while we're being invaded.
I felt probably at least it could be at least, let's say maybe 50%. But from what I've seen, like from this comment, now I understand that South Africans were actually right. Now, firstly, I would like by asking, like, what kind of country is this? Like, what kind of country is this that in your country you can't even boast of paracetamol, you can't boast of painkillers? Like, I sincerely don't understand. I know that yes, Africa is not doing well. Trust me, Africa is not doing well, and that's why most Africans that travel to South Africa, to them is like they're in a different world. Are you getting it? But then let's be sincere to ourselves. How can we carry all the burdens in Africa and place it on South Africa? Like as if I don't understand.
This lady gets it. I mean, somebody needs to explain it to me too. Is that not xenophobic? To force us to carry the burdens of the entire continent when we can barely take care of our own people. Why does nobody care about that? Why does nobody care that South Africans are suffering? And we're not allowed to say anything because as soon as we speak, you guys try to call it xenophobic. You're selfish and you guys act out of pure self-interest. South Africans, stop having pity and compassion for foreigners. Stop caring about these people. Stop caring about them because they don't care about you. You focus on yourself and your own life and taking care of your community and your people. End of story.
I don't understand because if we all continue to do this, you trust me, this country called South Africa will definitely collapse because the burden is
That's
getting
what they want.
too much.
These jealous mofos want South Africa to collapse. That's what they're working hard to make sure happens.
The burden is getting too heavy on this country. How can just one country cater for almost all the countries in this continent? Like if your country, Zimbabwe, if you guys don't have a paracetamol, how is that supposed to be problems of South Africa? No, you guys have your own president. South Africa have their own president. Whatever thing that South Africa have, you guys also have your own. But it's just that your government isn't taking care of the citizens, and it's nobody's fault. Now, 2 days ago, I made a video concerning the Zimbabwean pregnant lady, and I repeated by saying that South Africans said to me that 90 to 95% of pregnant Zimbabwean women, they always cross to South Africa to give birth. And when I said that, someone doubted me at the comment section, I guess in TikTok, right? The person said that whosoever that told me that actually lied. Are you getting it? Now, from what those people have said here, that means South Africans are 100% right. Like they actually said the truth. Are you getting it? Because in the whole country, where the hospitals don't have paracetamol, they don't have painkillers, that means they do not have what it takes to save human lives. They do not have what it takes to give birth. And that means South Africans are saying the truth, that Zimbabwe, anyone that falls sick, they move to their country for treatment. So why should those people continue to doubt South Africans? Why? If you don't have paracetamol in your country, that means it's as if you don't, there's no hospital in your country. And that means you guys, you Zimbabweans, cross to South Africa to receive treatment and to give birth. As simple as that. And this is exactly why South Africans are so pissed. Like they are so pissed. How can you go to hospital? You're so down. Go to hospital in your country. Not that you are a visitor or you travel to another country. In your own country, if you go to the hospital is already filled up with foreigners. They are filled up with Zimbabweans, both those that are sick and those that have given birth and those that are about to give birth. Hello.
Guys, this one is diabolical. They're selling this as water in this shop to black South Africans. You won't hear the so-called people crying about xenophobia in South Africa. They will not comment on how we're being treated. This is what people are doing. When you talk about, oh, foreigners are starting their businesses in South Africa, South Africans are just jealous. Jealous of what? Of this? Pipes being plugged in, connected through the toilet for people to drink inside the store. This is, guys, this is Afrophobia. This is xenophobia. People are coming to South Africa to do things like foreigners. Foreign nationals come to South Africa to do things like this. Why don't you guys comment on how xenophobic this is? Imagine if South Africans went to other people's countries and they were doing such things. You guys would label us as xenophobic. Why is it okay for people to come to our country to do this? And then when we stand up for ourselves, we're labeled as xenophobic. Why? This is unacceptable. It's disrespectful to a country that's giving you your livelihood, and this is how you treat its people. Why is there no respect for black South Africans in their own country? Look at this. Look at this. Someone, please explain this. You people that love to cry that South Africa is xenophobic. Explain this. Explain this to us, please. We want to know and understand how this is not xenophobic. How does this not qualify? So when we kick the foreigners out for our own safety, you cannot call it xenophobic. Look at this.
These people are selling water that we think it's purified, coming from the planet in a tax shop.
What the hell is this? What the hell is fucking this? What the hell is this?
Purified, so-called purified, coming from the pilot. Oh, I have. Oh, just one. Oh, this thing is going. Oh, Jesus. These people. This is the water that they are selling for the people in the name of purified water.
You know, I'm so glad that these people recorded this so we can show the world, because the world doesn't care. The Africans don't care about the backstory because they enjoy taking advantage of South Africa and not telling the full story of what foreigners are doing when they get to South Africa. This is the level of disrespect that we're subjected to. You telling me if the people were doing this in your country, you would just accept it? You wouldn't. You know you would take action against such behavior. And we tell our government, we complain every day to our government. Our government doesn't care. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. So what are we supposed to do? Just accept this? No, we're going to take matters into our own hands, as anybody else would.
And they are selling to the communities. Our communities are just eating or drinking water that is coming from the toilet. These people. It is there that we must get people from health to come and see this thing. Once again, I'm taking you through this water that is coming from the toilet. It is going like that from the toilet.
Disgusting. I mean, the amount of effort it takes to do something like this means you really hate black South Africans. You look down on us.
Filth. Our people are being made to drink filth that is coming from the toilet. This cannot be tolerated. Really, it not.
Good evening to you and a warm welcome if you're just joining us. We begin here. A sting operation by the Labour Department is currently underway at Babel Restaurant in Enlin. It comes after the eatery's management was accused.
It's a lie. It's true that white people say that foreigners are hardworking or harder working than South Africans. No, the reason that the white people don't like us is because we know our rights and we won't allow them to treat us like animals like they used to during apartheid. So these desperate foreign nationals that are coming in are being subjected to the same apartheid racist treatment from these white racists. And instead of these foreigners realizing and understanding what's going on, they're just drinking the Kool-Aid and then blaming South Africans and saying, oh, you guys are lazy. No, you guys are being exploited, you dummies. And you're supposed to be smart enough to stand in solidarity with the decision that we've taken as South African blacks to say, no, we will not be subjected to being treated like animals. But instead, you guys are coming in droves, accepting below minimum wage and being treated like garbage, not getting any benefits, no pension, no UFI, nothing. You're slaves. We fought to reverse this, and you're undoing all of that work because you're acting in pure self-interest. Instead of standing in solidarity with black South Africans, you are divided. You're dividing us because of your own selfishness. And that's how it's easy it is for whites to gain control. Because black people you can't wait to be the next teacher's pet. You can't wait to eat the crumbs from the master's table. No dignity, no pride.
Accused of exploiting workers on social media. Newsroom Africa's Nqobile Madlala is live for us again in Pretoria. Let's take you to her now. Nqobile, good evening to you. I understand there's been some developments at that restaurant. Tell us more.
Correct, Kuli. In fact, where I'm standing, you see behind me there's an immigration van. And currently has some of the employees from the Babel restaurants that have been arrested. And we know that the employer as well has been asked to come here, and also he has been arrested. We understand at this point about...
Look at this. This is just Malawians in Cape Town. Look how many of them are there. Guys, this is a national crisis, and unfortunately, our president and our governments are doing nothing about a crisis situation. These people are being allowed in deliberately by the government, and the aim is to kill the revolution in South Africa by bringing in foreigners that have no relation to the land. They don't care because their ancestors were not killed in this land. Ours were killed. That's why we care. They're just economic opportunists. They come here, they don't care about anything. They're not fighting for anything except for themselves. We're fighting for something much greater than just ourselves. And foreign nationals are standing in the way.
I regret. This is the worst mistake. I haven't done this thing before since 13 years I'm staying.
This Qolani has been changing our country for the good. And what do Nigerians want to do? They want him to be arrested to stop him from raiding and busting these drug dealers and drug sellers. Qolani is doing an amazing job. And guys, we all need to mobilize in our communities and do exactly what Qolani is doing with the help of our police.
In this nation, this thing is the worst mistake that I did, and I am regretting.
He doesn't mean it. Stupid Nigerian.
I want to show you something.
Look at these plaza shops selling expired food, guys. Embarrassing. This is xenophobic. Why do they hate us so much?
That's before 19 December 2024, last year. This one. Huh? 2nd of February. 0 February 02 25 February. Huh? Number 6 May. 6 May. Please bring more.
So guys, we're not allowed to beat their asses? What would you do if they were feeding your children poison? I'm pretty sure you'll do something about it, something quite aggressive and violent. You guys are hypocrites. You don't want us to lay a finger on these people, even though they're killing us. But you know that if this was happening in your country, you would cause these people physical harm. You are not my brother or my sister if you're doing this to my people. Fuck you.
Yeah. We're saving time now. Yeah.
Guys, these foreigners are manufacturing coke so they can sell to our people, our black people. That's how much they hate us. They're making fake coke to sell to our people. They're poisoning us. But nobody says this is xenophobic. These Africans that are crying, these NGOs, they won't say that this is xenophobic. But as soon as we retaliate, we're going to be labeled the bad guys. There's an agenda here to try to silence black South Africans while we're getting genocided. These media narratives are dangerous, and it's being done deliberately to silence us.
Some people work 9 to 5. Some people work night shift. I work all shifts. Okay, so
I made a video. One of my previous videos was about the petrol station that was functioning illegally. It's crazy, dog. I mean, guys, we're still going. I mean, I'm just showing you compilations of all the illegal things going on in South Africa because of foreigners. Undocumented foreigners running their businesses illegally. No proper documents in their shops, nothing. But they're selling to our people. And you guys must stop buying from these people, man. Yeah, this is what? Pan-Africanism. This is bullshit. I'm gonna give this. Okay, I've got a nice name for this video. No, I'm gonna call this series now. I mean, look at this.
I was actually interested. The guy.
Another illegal spaza shop. Hiding in the chips somewhere, undocumented. Instead of just doing things the legal way so that we have a record of everyone in our country, they
Ladies
want
and
to do
gentlemen,
things
please,
illegally.
without further ado, I need you to compare between Nigerian police officers and Ghanaian police officers in their border. Watch this.
Country.
How are you?
Good, and you?
Happy to meet you today.
Okay.
What are the research for?
I'm going towards Togo.
And your name?
Okay. Norali, yes.
Like I take your number and we'll be communicating.
No. No, it's okay.
Huh?
No.
Oh, is it for security reasons? Carry on.
Okay. The number.
Give me money. Money.
Money. What? How are you?
Hello.
Hello.
How is everything?
Everything is fine.
From where?
Netherlands.
Eh?
Netherlands.
Now you the what do you bring up? See that? Eh? Oh, where they go?
Abuja.
No.
How are you?
Give me something else. Everything.
Everything is fine.
Nigerian.
Huh?
Oh,
family.
Good.
Family is good.
This water.
Yeah. Give me money.
Wait till you break up.
Huh?
Wait till you break up. I say wait till you break up.
What you want give me? Hey, wait till now. What you want give me? Oh, give me something. Oh, give me something else. Give me something.
That's why our crimes. That's why, guys. That's why rape is so high in South Africa, because of these motherfuckers. Nigerians don't respect women. They just rape them. They don't care about consent. In case you didn't know, they just rape. It's normal in Nigeria to rape a woman. These guys are terrible. And they brought that culture here to South Africa. And they won't report the proper statistics and the truth. They're blaming black South African men. No, this is because of Nigerians and because of foreigners that are coming in with no regard for South Africans, abusing them, raping them, killing them.
Give me something.
Yeah. Give me money.
Money. Why?
Ah, God. It is a disheartening thing indeed to be reckoned as a Nigerian, or to be looked upon as a Nigerian, or to be reckoned with Nigerians. You know, I often say this. To be regarded a Nigerian is a curse to me.
It's a curse.
It's a curse to me. It is something that has been removed from my choice. Yes, wow. It is something that has been removed from my choice. To be seen or regarded as a Nigerian is something that has been removed from my choice. But then, to reckon with Nigerians is something that lies within my choice. It is something that lies within my decision. And that is why I can never reckon with Nigerians. I can never reckon with Nigerians.
This is a Nigerian talking, and he has given up on Nigerians. He himself has given up on you people. But South Africans are what? Supposed to accept you, Nigerians? No, we're also tired of you. In the same way that your own people are so tired of you, they japa, they run away from the country because they don't want to deal with Nigerians.
This is the Nigerian police. What did you hear there? Shouting, give me money, give me money, give me money. This is a base animalistic tendency. This is a character that is attributive to someone that is below the species of being a human being.
Facts.
This is a character that is attributive to only animals, base animals. Base animals. That's the character. The only thing that can explain such a thing for a human is when such human had been reckoned, or when such human had been confirmed to be mentally deformed, to be mentally unwell, to be mentally unhealthy.
Facts.
That's why Nigerian problem, the problem with Nigerians is simply a clinical problem. It's a psychiatric problem. I always say this, it is a psychiatric problem. Look at Ghanaian police in the border. I mean, the Ghanaian police is actually trying to attain love. He's actually trying to attain love. And notice one thing. The moment the woman said no, due to the fact that Ghanaians have self-respect, the man was like, okay, you can go. That is how much you ought to respect Ghanaians. He said, okay, just go. Simple. He made his attempt, which is emphatic by every man. But when he was turned down, okay, go. But look at Nigerians. Shameful.
What about your relations with South Africa? Are you going to provide shelter to... What about your relations with South Africa? Are you going to provide shelter to armed guerrillas who want to fight against the South African government's policies?
Our view is that South Africa should avoid interfering in affairs, and we should avoid interfering in...
That's Mugabe. Now today, Zimbabweans are talking about one Africa, let's come together. At the height of our conflict against apartheid, this is what he was saying. That we must just focus on ourselves. So now today, it's Pan-Africanism. Fuck you.
South African affairs. But it is not our duty to take up arms against South Africa. It's the right and obligation of the people of South Africa to correct their own grievances their own way. We can only assist by giving them political and diplomatic support. The struggle in South Africa is a national struggle for South Africans, and not one we should regard as Zimbabweans as our own concern.
You will not support an armed struggle?
No, we will not.
There you have it. But we're xenophobic when we do the same thing and tell them to go back home. Double standards. Now, this one in particular is upsetting to me. Because you've got Nigerians that are flying from South Africa, but actually, the actual problem is you got Nigerians with South African passports that are causing havoc all around the world, ruining our name and reputation. Because now people think that that's us, but really it's Nigerians doing these terrible things. That's the next wave, and our passport is going to become useless, just like the Nigerian one. In fact, we're going to be restricted from traveling and going to certain countries and banned, just like the Nigerian passport has been banned. Anyway, I'm going to stop here, guys. 20 minutes of just reacting to compilations of xenophobic attacks against South Africans that people refuse to talk about. But anyway, I'm going to end the stream here, guys. I will continue again.